No, not at all. Brian is a big teddy bear. Brian is a big guy. He's a big guy. So, but he's 25, and I would just love for him to still be able to have an opportunity to live a productive life.
Mr. Pinckney,
Yes, ma'am.
did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Come on, mom. Come on, mom.
And I'm sure there is something out there. I am praying to God that there is, because my son does not believe in jail. I am asking for help.
You, your husband, are treating him like the little boy in the photo that you're bringing up. That's a 29-year-old grown man who has not done anything.
Your Honor, I have two witnesses. I have the mother of Brian, who's here, and then just argument.
All right, and is this Miss Pinckney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you pronounce your first name Leticia?
Letitia, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, Miss Pinckney, if you could raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
All right. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. If you could spell your first name for the record, please.
My first name is spelled Latiscia.
All right, thank you, Miss Pinckney. All right, defense.
All right, Ms. Pinckney, what is your relationship to Brian?
I'm his mother.
And just to give the court a timeline, this case appears to have happened around, looks like November 9th. Let me see, let me just double check, Judge, just so we can get squared away. Do you recall when about this incident happened, Ms. Pinckney?
October of 2020.
Okay, and do you remember when Brian was finally released from jail?
It was March of 2021.
So you'd say he spent about a good 5 months in jail initially?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, and since his release, has he been living with you under your care?
Yes, he has.
Okay, and he's not on GPS currently, correct?
No, he is not.
Okay, whenever Mr. Pinckney was released, I believe that there's some documents here in the PSI regarding some mental health evaluations of some sort,
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
What medications is he taking, if any?
He takes medication for anxiety. He was diagnosed with a couple of things. Social anxiety, bipolar,
Okay.
for the most part.
Okay, and just to check here, it appears that he is currently enrolled with the Center for Healthcare Services.
Yes, he is.
And how often does he meet with them?
It depends, but at least twice a month.
Okay, and this is since his release back in March, correct?
Yes, he enrolled 2 weeks after he was released, and he has been compliant up to this point.
Okay, and is he drug tested regularly?
No, he has random, I guess it's random. So whenever they decide that he has to go in, that's when he has to go in.
Okay, and is Brian currently working?
Yes, he is.
How long has he been employed?
He started working a week after he was released.
Okay, and where does he work, ma'am?
He works at a restaurant, a barbecue restaurant. And he doesn't miss work. He does everything. He does everything.
Okay, and what are his duties?
He cooks, he does cashier, he does maintenance, whatever they choose to ask him to do, that's what he does.
Okay, and now we see here in this PSI report that Brian has had a little history with marijuana. Is that fair to say?
Yes, that is fair to say.
And this marijuana has gotten him in trouble, correct?
Yes, it has.
Let me ask you this. Has Brian ever been violent or aggressive towards you, ma'am?
No, not at all. Brian is a big teddy bear. Brian is a big guy. He's a big guy. So, but he's a teddy bear. He loves it. He all kids love him. has brought home I don't know how many stray animals because they're just out there.
Yes, ma'am. And does Brian have children?
Yes, he does.
And do they live with you?
Yes,
How many?
2.
And at what age?
We have a newborn, which is going on 4 months, and we have a 7-year-old.
Okay, ma'am. And are you currently employed?
Yes, I am.
What is it that you do, ma'am?
I do medical claims, and I also do, I work in 2 jobs, and I also do tax preparation.
Okay. And it's my understanding that you served?
Yes, I did. I served in the United States Army.
Okay. Does Brian have a father?
Yes, he does. And his dad is he's a veteran as well, and he served in the United States Navy.
Okay. And let me ask you this. Does Brian help out around the home?
Brian helps out tremendously. I have his oldest sister, which is my oldest child. She was born with cerebral palsy and hydrocephalus. As when she was younger, it was easier for me to lift her, to help take her to the restroom, to help give her a bath. I'm up there in age at this point, and I can't lift her anymore. I can't. And Brian helps me with the bills now because it's just me. Everything is on me at this point. His father is involved, but his father was died while Brian was incarcerated. His dad was diagnosed with schizophrenia.
And does Brian help out with the father?
Yes, because there's times there may be an episode where I can't get him to calm down. And Brian is a big help. Like Brian can talk to him. Brian can help. I can't diffuse every situation. And being honest, no, maybe Brian can't either. But between that, I have other children as well. So there's times that I need just need them to be protected just so that I can get law enforcement or his VA team to come and assist me.
Okay. And ma'am, what conditions of the court are you helping Brian satisfy at the moment? And I know that he was released in March.
As far as Brian I'm gonna be honest with you, Brian, a lot of this he has taken on himself. This incident showed Brian a lot, and being incarcerated was somewhere he didn't want to be. Brian has taken on the role of dad. He wants to show his kids a better life, and he's told me that many a times. And I can honestly say that being incarcerated showed him where he didn't want to be and what he needed not to do.
And how long has he been out, ma'am?
He has been out a year in March. And I can tell you that I'm so proud of the man that he's become, that it's amazing. It's amazing.
And he's not on any restraints, correct?
No, he is not. He is not. He restrains himself because he comes home every day and makes sure that he takes care of his children. He makes sure that, Mom, do you need anything? Mom, take a break. Mom, I see you're tired. And I've been tired for a while, to the point where there's days that I know that I don't know how I'm doing it, but I know that I have to keep going. And him changing, it has helped me a lot. It has.
Okay, ma'am. And let me ask you something, because it's on the PSI report. Well, let me ask you this first. How old is Brian?
Brian is 25.
He's 25 years old. Okay.
Yes.
And does he have a high school diploma?
No, he does not.
Does he have a GED?
No, he does not. And he has decided to enroll in GED classes so that he can show his children that it's important to get his education.
Okay, ma'am. And let me ask you this, because I know that this is going to weigh heavy on the court. We have here in this report in regards to gang affiliation. Is Brian gang affiliated?
No, not unless you consider his family a gang, because let me tell you, like, I think it was more people that he was hanging around, and you're guilty by association. And that's basically what it was. As far as him being a gang member, no.
And what side of town do you live on, ma'am?
We live on the east side of San Antonio.
Okay. If there's anything that you'd like to tell this court, please do so. I don't have any further questions.
If there is anything I can say is that I understand that my son has made mistakes. I understand that he's not perfect, but he's 25 and I would just love for him to still be able to have an opportunity to live a productive life without being incarcerated. This last year has shown me, he's shown me so much of a difference and he's made so much change. And just him going away, it would really be a hardship, not just financially, mentally. I don't know how I can handle it at this point because I feel like I have the weight of the world on my shoulders. And him being here to help me like lift and him being able to diffuse situations, it helps me a lot. It would mean so much for him to have the opportunity to be out here and to be productive and show his children a better way, the way that he has done.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm not gonna say that he hasn't made mistakes. He did. And the 5 months that he was gone, it took a toll. It took a toll not only on me, his dad. His dad, eventually we had to tell him where his son was, and mentally already having the schizophrenia, it played a lot. It really did.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any questions?
None from the state, Judge.
All right, thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming in to testify.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, anything else, Mr. Perez?
Yes, Your Honor. If I could get some testimony from my client, Brian.
All right, Mr. Pickney, if you can raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes,
All
Your
right, you
Honor.
can lower your hand. All right, defense?
Brian, are you currently still employed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you're working at the barbecue place, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now what the court has in front of them is they have a PSI report, Brian. And what we're looking at is we're taking into consideration the charges, the nature of the charges, and the threat posed, if any, to the community, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, during this time, you've been working for about a year now, correct?
Yes, sir.
You've been without any constraints and you've been able to roam freely, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, looking at these charges, we see that you got some marijuana charges and that's what seems to have been getting you in trouble. Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, we're also looking at some of these other charges, which many have been dismissed, but look, it appears that you have one that you do have a conviction for, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, now, I'm sure what the court wants to hear is we want to talk about this incident in question, okay? We have complainants, Mayra Aldape, Alfonso Diaz, and Eric Alderete. Did you know any of these individuals prior to this incident?
No, sir.
And who knows these individuals? How did you come about meeting these individuals?
Friends of mine, Adam Cordova and Jay DeLeon.
Okay, and let's just go ahead and get right into it. What were you doing?
Buying weed. Well, they knew where to get weed from, so I was going with them to buy some weed. They invited me to go with them to go get some weed.
Okay, now you can see how doing this has been getting you in trouble, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now in this incident, who knew where to go?
Jay DeLeon.
All right, and it appears that you were invited, or did you know? Did you know where to go? Were you invited to go?
No, I was invited to go, but I didn't know it was just to buy weed. I didn't know who we were going to get it from.
Okay, so your understanding was that you were just gonna get in a car and go purchase some weed, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you can see how that was wrong now,
Yes, sir.
correct?
Yes, sir.
With everything that's transpired, you can see that your life has been put in a world of turmoil, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now when going to purchase this, what happened next?
Well, the people we were getting it from, Jay DeLeon exchanged words with them because they shorted him on some weed, so they exchanged words.
So,
And-
Mr. DeLeon was under the impression that he was shorted,
Yes, yes,
and then what happened after that? Did he feel disrespected?
yes. It was a verbal argument, and he felt disrespected, and the fight broke out.
Okay, and this was a verbal fight or a physical fight?
It was a verbal altercation that turned into a physical altercation.
Okay, and at this point, who was fighting?
Jay DeLeon and Adam Cordova.
Okay. Did Mr. DeLeon and Mr. Cordova already know these individuals?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Oh, Ms. Pinckney, you could mute yourself. And they already knew these individuals?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, and had they done exchangements with them before?
They could have.
Okay. And the reason I'm getting to this is because in this PSI that I'm looking at, it looks rather incriminating, but at the same time, it's confusing. Okay? So the fight itself was physical, and what transpired next?
Weapon got pulled.
And who pulled this weapon?
Jay DeLeon.
Jay DeLeon, okay? And after this weapon was pulled, what happened?
Basically, it was, them saying like, we're not here to fight. Like, you're gonna give us what you owe us, basically.
Okay,
Because they got shorted on the weed.
okay. And right now, after this happened, what was your mindset?
To leave.
To leave? And
Get
did
out of
you?
there.
Were you able to get out of there?
Yes, I was the first one out. I stepped out.
Okay. Now let me look at this. How big would you say you are, Mr. Pinckney?
I'm 6'4", 6'5".
You're about 6'4", 6'5"? Okay. And you didn't, after you guys had left, you didn't understand, or when did you get contact that you had an at-large case?
About 2 weeks after.
Okay, so you weren't aware. And how did I guess no further questions, Judge. I'm safe for argument.
State,
There's no questions, but I have a rebuttal witness.
all right. Any other witnesses?
No further witnesses, Your Honor.
All right, just so everyone is aware, the court has read the PSI report. And in the PSI report, it clearly states that Mr. Pinckney had a gun and that items were taken by Mr. Pinckney. None of that appears to have been addressed. I've listened to the testimony of the mother saying that mistakes were made. And I really don't call these things mistakes. I call them people making bad choices. So just so everyone knows, I read the entire PSI report. Mr. Pettis, any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor. No further witnesses.
State, any witnesses?
No witnesses, Judge.
All right, then the court will,
Judge,
Here.
if I could ask one last question for Mr. Pinckney.
yes.
Mr. Pinckney, do you accept full responsibility?
I accept full responsibility.
Would you agree that this marijuana habit has gotten you into a world of trouble?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If you could do things differently, would you?
Yes, sir. I would.
And if you had anything to say to the court, now would be the time to say it.
Your Honor, I'm just asking, I'm not taking any blame off myself, Your Honor. I'm just asking that, you know, I put myself into that situation, not, you know, knowing what could happen.
Well, I mean, now, Mr. Pickney, here's the thing. Is there anyone here? This is a rhetorical question, but you can answer it. Is there anyone here who knows what could potentially happen if you take a gun and you point it at somebody? Is
Yes,
that
ma'am.
something that we do not know? What could happen if you do that, Mr. Pickney?
Someone could get hurt.
Yeah. And what happens if you take a gun and it has a laser pointer on it and you point it at somebody? What could potentially happen?
It could be used.
What could happen when what happens when you goes in somebody's house and you tell them to shut the F up and you have a gun on them? What happens? What could potentially happen?
Someone could get hurt.
And where is, this person said their rosary was stolen. Where is that rosary?
I don't have any of the stolen items that were said to be stolen. Yeah.
All right. Now, what I can tell both parties, I've read the PSI report. I know that at this house, people were selling drugs, period. So I know that. I know that people entered this home with guns, 3 defendants, to steal. That nothing in the PSI report states that somebody went there to buy weed and they were shorted weed and arguments happened. What's in the PSI report before me and in the police reports that's stipulated is people were selling drugs out of that house. People knew that there were items in that house that were valuable items. And what I have here is Diaz reported that the defendant sold $2,000 worth of cocaine, $100 worth of marijuana, an unknown amount of money, a $50,000 Rolex watch, a $100,000 platinum necklace, and a television. So that's what we have. So yes, according to everything I'm reading in here, this is what people are saying, and this is in the stipulated evidence. People were selling drugs out of this household. People, the co-defendants, knew they were selling drugs out of this household and that there were items there. And all of these items were stolen during an aggravated robbery. And it's aggravated because people, the co-defendants, pointed guns at them. So is there something that I'm missing that is not in this PSI report other than the testimony that I've heard from Mr. Pickney's mom, which I haven't internalized, the fact that, yes, he uses weed, which I've internalized, that he has 2 children that now he's discovered he should be taken care of. Is there anything else?
Yes, Your Honor, if I could just point out a few things in this PSI.
Yes.
After reviewing the PSI, Judge, we noticed several things. One, that Jay De Leon and Alfonso Diaz, complainant, had known each other, okay? They were on a knowing basis, Judge. It's alleged that there were several injuries, that a girl had broken her bones in her feet, she had an injured back, that a chain was ripped off of her neck, and it's also alleged that somebody was pistol whipped in the back of the head. However, Judge, if you go on to the second page of the official version continued, when the police arrive on scene, all complainants refused EMS, and the police made notation that there did not appear to have any injuries whatsoever. So,
and what I'll say to that, Mr. Pettis, I understand what you're saying to that, and I did read that. Part of the police report, it's stating that the complainant was saying there were prior injuries with the foot in the back. But I understand what you're saying as it relates to the allegation of pistol whipping, and that there were no requests for EMS or to be reviewed by medical by the complainants. Thank you for pointing that out, Mr. Pettis.
Thank you, Your Honor. And just to further analyze, Judge, it's also noted in this report that these statements were not made initially at the outset of the call of police. It's indicated on the second page, official version continued at the very bottom, that the complainants were given the opportunity to be taken to night CID to provide statements, but they opted to provide statements at a later time. I think that
All
that's.
right, and that's because people are selling drugs out of the household.
I-
I mean, I mean, I've read it, the report. Drugs were being sold out of the household. These three defendants went there to rob and steal. And
Yes,
they
sir.
did it at gunpoint.
Yes, Your Honor. And just one last point, Judge, if I could make one.
No, please.
One last point, Your Honor. It's reported. So there's several pages of this report. We've got both official version continued, and we have the narrative, Judge. Now, what seems to not jive with me is we've got an indication of a black firearm being used with the laser on it. Okay. Now, throughout the series of these 3 pages, Judge, we've got different indications, different affirmative indications as to who was carrying that firearm. It's a very specific firearm with the laser on it, Your Honor. And whenever you look at, initially, they indicate that it was Adam Cordova. However, at the same time, they also indicate that it was my client, but they list that my client was 5'3" tall. And that's on the continued version as well.
Yes.
And I know that you've read it, but I think it's clear to indicate when you compile this with, an expected laceration or some type of concussion with being pistol whipped, and then the identification and so forth. We're not saying that my client is not wrong for being there. We accept full responsibility, Judge. He went there to buy weed, and we're indicating that the way that it's worded, it indicates that there's maybe 4 or 5 individuals and there's only 2 firearms. And with that statement, Judge, not all people can be holding firearms. And these people do know each other to the extent that they had these exchanges before, and they've seen each other and they recognize faces. And the description that was given with the firearm that had the laser on it has 2 inconsistent statements as to who were holding these firearms, Judge. And that's all that we would like to note, but we do take full responsibility. And and that's to the facts, Judge. And lastly, all I will say is that Mr. Pinckney has been out for a year. He's not on any constraints whatsoever in regards to GPS or anything like that. He's been in full compliance with his mental health services as ordered by the court, Judge. He's got a job and he is doing well. He is considering going back to school. He's helping his mother not only take care of his father, but also around the house and financially. And he's also got his 2 children. And looking at this, Judge, I feel that he hasn't gotten any new cases. He doesn't have any violations or any complaints whatsoever. And that's not even being on any constraints at all. In contrast to some of the other co-defendants, Your Honor, some of the other co-defendants had already had previous felonies and had not complied, had cut their GPS off, have been fugitives, where Brian, on the other hand, Judge, has complied and gone to every hearing, every pretrial hearing. He's gone to every meeting, and he's gone to his PSI, and he's been fully engaged with his medical services, Judge. I do believe that Mr. Pinckney has turned a new leaf, and I would also like to remind the court that he has got about 5 months in the jail that he did, and I think that was a real shock to Mr. Pinckney and how his life is going as a young man. And we hope that the court takes this into consideration, Judge.
All right, State. Is there anything you would like to say?
Just briefly, Judge, in a correction, the PSI says 5'3", but if you look at the stipulated evidence, it says Brian Pinckney was 6'3", and so I think that's a correction that I should have caught earlier. As far as the facts of this case, we have a victim who are very forthright with the officers. They admitted that they were selling drugs, or at least one of them was. They had no reason to lie. Our victim, Myra Adape, was the one who had her foot stepped on and was threatened at gunpoint by the defendant and told her that he would blast her. I understand that he doesn't have a lot of criminal history, Judge, but this is, the facts of this case are those where prison is appropriate. Their lives are forever changed. She has a kid that she was fearful for. He said the words, but he hasn't actually accepted responsibility for what he did. He gave a different version of the facts. He said a gun came out. It's obvious that he isn't in a place where he's willing to accept responsibility for what he did and change his life. So we're asking that you deny his application.
All right. The court is going to deny the application, find the defendant guilty. Does anyone wish to speak to the cap?
Judge, the state would ask, the co-defendant Adam Cordova pled to 7 years, so we feel that 7 years would be appropriate.
Defense.
Your Honor, we feel that 7 years is excessive, given for the reasons contrasted previously, Judge.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court, as previously stated, is finding you guilty, sentence you to a $1,500 fine, time and money run concurrent, taking consideration County Court Cause number 630-977, 649-329. There should be no contact with Myra, M-A-Y-R-A, Aldape, Eric Alderete, Jacob DeLeon, Adam Cordova, sentence you to 7 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. I'll ask that you be placed in the therapeutic community, but whether or not you're in the therapeutic community will depend on you applying for it and whether or not they will accept you. They may not accept you based upon the nature of these charges. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Mr. Pickney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Come on, mom. Come on, mom.
Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition.
Are you bad?
If you wanted a definition of what a weapon is, you'll have to speak to an attorney. Do you understand, Mr. Pickney?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Pickney, the court understands that you've made changes in your life, and the court appreciates that fact. That is why the court agreed and sentenced you to 7 years instead of the 12 years. I understand from reading the police report everything that was going on in that situation. But sometimes when offenses are committed, it is not enough that you are doing better now. Sometimes it is you have to have punishment for what you've done. So there's a combination of punishment and rehabilitation. That night, so much could have went wrong. You could be sitting here with capital murder charges if guns would have went off,
Yes,
because there's a robbery being committed. And if people are killed, that equals capital murder. Now, I know you have a young child. I know you have an older child. Those are things that should have been thought about before you went to this home. So that's where we are. Mr. Sanders?
Judge, we do have impact statement. I know the court still has a busy docket, so maybe a breakout room or.
Yes. To the courtroom. If you could go to breakout room number 2, please.
Yes, Judge.
Violation of condition number 4.
Just 1 second. Guys, we're on the record, so if you could not talk behind the court reporter because it makes it difficult for her to hear. All right, you may proceed.
Yes, sir. Violation of condition number 4. In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Samuel Ramirez, then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of July, August, October, and November 2024, and violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True. We'll waive the remaining violation, Your Honor.
Any objection to the state's waiver?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in the prison and up to $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4? Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there proposed agreement? State, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, state's requesting 2 years imprisonment. This in TDC.
Your Honor, we're asking for the court to alter and amend the conditions of probation. Mr. Ramirez realized that he made a bad mistake of not showing up for probation. He had transportation problems, but he acknowledges that he should have gone to probation. When he was arrested on this case, Your Honor, the victim on the case is the complaining witness is his sister. He was living with his sister and his mom. After this incident, he moved out and went to live with his dad, which mom and dad are divorced. And that was kind of one of the problems that arose, Your Honor, which Mr. Ramirez has mental health issues. I believe that he was scheduled to have a make evaluation, which I don't think ever took place. The family confirms that there's serious mental health issues. Mr. Ramirez has problems holding a job. However, Mr. Ramirez, which he's in court here with Mrs. Ramirez, they're separated, they're divorced, but they're both here. He has
What is
He's-
his relationship with Amanda Ramirez?
brother and sister.
Okay.
And she doesn't want him to go to prison. None of the parents want him to
So
go.
why is he not reporting? You want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Samuel Ramirez.
Why are you not reporting?
I had communication unavailable.
I'm sorry, what?
I had communication unavailable.
What do you mean you had communication unavailable?
Just cellular communication unavailable.
I'm sorry, what?
Cellular communication unavailable.
What do you mean? You did not have a cell phone? So why didn't you report to probation and let them know? You could have got on the bus and went to probation. No, I'm trying to figure out why I shouldn't revoke you. What have you done since you've been on probation?
And
No, have you done anything? Let's start with this. All right, we know you didn't report because you said you did. Have you had employment?
no, but I've been searching.
I'm sorry, what?
No, but I've been searching for employment.
All right, so that's been since 2022. So you haven't had employment since 2022 and you've been searching for employment? All right. Did you do any of your community service hours?
Yes, ma'am.
So you've done some community service hours, or you go somewhere and you work for free. You've done that?
I believe it was paid on.
All right. Did you pay that because you didn't have employment? Who paid that for you?
Off.
All right. So did you complete the hostility and aggression course? Did you abide by field visits?
No, in person. Oh,
So-
is it input visits?
Field visits,
Yes.
that's where people come out to your house. No, I mean, did probation come out to your house and visit you? All right. So, I mean, he hasn't done anything since 2022 and it's 2025.
And I think it goes back to the mental health issues, Your Honor.
Well, I mean, how can anybody help him if he doesn't show up to be helped?
Yes, well, Your Honor, additionally, they didn't hear this month, they picked up 2 new charges there at large and unindicted cases for assault, choking second, and aggravated assault with deadly weapon.
The complainant, the alleged victim on that incident, Your Honor, is Mr. Ramirez. He decided he doesn't want to file any charges against his own son. He doesn't want him to go to prison either.
Well,
He's in court here also this morning, he's been here this morning, all morning.
all right, I'll hear from his father, but my problem is he hasn't done anything. Nobody can help somebody if they don't want to even do the minimum, and the minimum is showing up. And he hasn't done anything on probation. And maybe part of the problem is the family, instead of having him do his community service hours, they're paying for it. I mean, if you want to call him as a witness, I'll keep an open mind and listen to him.
I'm not trying to say defense is not being truthful, but we can't verify as well ourselves on our end who the victims of those cases are, because the cases being so new, they're not
Oh, no, that's fine. I just want to, if he wants to come and testify,
I'll call Mr. Ramirez to the,
all right. Hello. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. I'm a little hard of hearing also.
Okay, no problem. You can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Efren Ramirez.
All right, what do you want to tell me about your son?
He's been a good son until a couple of years ago when he started changing, isolating himself, not talking to friends, not talking to family, not going out, not communicating. I miss my son, but he used to be. And he's not there. So we're seeking for help, you know.
Let me ask you this. Has he always looked like this?
No,
I mean, buffed up and everything?
his smile is gone.
No. I mean, his body type. Has his body type always been like that?
He's been exercising since he was pretty young.
No. But the body that I'm seeing right now, is that the way his body has always been of late? When did his body start being that way where he's super muscular? And let me just tell you where I'm going with this. Let me tell you where I'm going with this. Has he been using steroids?
Not to my knowledge, and I always asked him. He wasn't this big. When he was exercising, he was very lean and muscular. But in the last 6 months or so, he stopped exercising and just eating and not doing anything.
So he hasn't been exercising and he's still built that way
Yeah, he's been
in
eating.
6 months.
He's been eating a lot.
Well, I mean, if he shouldn't be that muscular then.
Again, I work and we have weights at home. And for me to find out if he was doing exercise.
Miss, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to have a seat. Yeah.
I know that he loves exercising and he loves eating. But as far as any other kind of muscle enhancement, I don't know. I don't think so.
All right, just one moment. Deputy Laura? Can scroll up on that. All right, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So to my knowledge, he hasn't been using anything. He's just big. He's been big.
Okay. All right, any other questions?
have you tried to attempt to get help, medical treatment for your son?
Yes, I need to go to a health facility and I talked to the director and the director was willing to help. But unfortunately, it wasn't possible for us to make him come to this facility. And the director said that the only way that she would be able to help is, again, if he was back in here or back in jail, then she will come and request to give him some sort of help.
And when the state says that he had an altercation on May the 3rd, are you the person that involved in the altercation?
And the last altercation?
Yes.
Yes.
And that was with your son?
Yes.
Do you want him to go to prison?
I don't want him to go to prison. I want him to get the help needed.
And if the judge decides to give him one more chance and place him back on probation, are you willing to ready to help your son some way?
Always.
And you own a business, correct?
I do.
And you at one point your son worked for you?
Not only work, but I train him to do what I do for a living.
And is that something that you will consider also if the judge puts him back on probation?
Yes, I would.
I'll pass the witness.
Any questions?
Yes. I'm sorry, so I didn't catch your first name?
My name?
Yes.
Efren.
Efren. I'll just call you Mr. Ramirez. Is that
I
okay?
can.
I'll just call you Mr. Ramirez. Is that
Yes,
okay?
that's fine.
Okay, well, Mr. Ramirez, has your son ever assaulted your daughter before?
That was the first time that I know of.
And has he ever been violent or assaulted with you?
I was a little confrontational, I guess, but never physical.
Never physical. So has he ever attacked you with a weapon?
No,
Has he ever tried to choke you?
no. I mean, not really. I mean, no, but I know, but I can recall.
Okay, so the incident that you were trying to describe earlier, that happened at the beginning of the month. Can you describe that a little bit more? What happened that day?
He had one episode where I guess he wasn't able to control himself because I brought a friend home, and he wasn't happy about that. And
So what
I
did he do
just,
then? So what did he do then if he wasn't happy about that?
I'm sorry.
What did he do then if he wasn't happy about that?
He threw some furniture on the floor, and I just told him that what the issue was, and he wasn't communicating with me, so I don't know what was going on with him.
Okay, so what happened after he threw the furniture?
He threw me on the floor, and I told him that if that was a way for him to release that anger, I didn't care, that he will always be my son and I'll always love him.
I understand. But you said he threw you on the floor?
Yeah.
How did he throw you on the floor?
I'm sorry?
How did he go about throwing you on the floor?
Well, I can't recall exactly, but
Well, let me help you out here. Did he grab you
yes,
with both hands?
I can't recall, but I know that I was on the floor.
Okay, so he grabbed you and somehow you ended up on the floor.
Right.
Okay. What happened after he threw you to the floor?
He,
Punched. How many times did he?
I cannot recall,
Where did he?
in the face.
How many times? Oh, excuse me, was it open hand or closed fist?
Again, I cannot recall.
Okay. Did he do anything else after that?
Roll around, and I started defending myself.
Okay, so you wrestled for a little bit?
Yes,
Okay, and what did you do to defend yourself?
just tried to push him away from me.
Were you able to do so?
Yes.
Okay, and what happened after you pushed him away from you?
He just got up and left, and I was left there.
Okay, you left what, the home?
Yes.
And what's the address of that home? Your address.
My address,
With your wife?
again, only raising his voice, or just, being tough, but nothing like that.
So he's been tough to your wife?
Just trying to confront
Objection,
her,
Your Honor.
but
He has
never
no
physical.
personal, objection, Your Honor. He has no personal knowledge about what's
I'm
happened to
asking
the
about
wife.
his own.
They don't
Well,
live together.
Well, the foundation has to be laid if he has seen anything.
Seen any time?
No,
Okay,
I haven't.
all right. You testified earlier that if the judge granted him probation again, gave him a second chance, to try and give him the help that he needs,
Yes,
but why couldn't that help be given to him before?
because he wasn't willing to get the help. So I do want some sort of a plan or a recommendation to get him the help he needs.
And you think he'd be willing to do that now?
I cannot tell you, I cannot tell the future. I want him to,
You're wanting him to, but you don't know if he wants to, is what you're saying.
that's what I'm hoping for.
Okay. I have no further questions. I'll pass the witness.
Any questions?
No further question for this witness, Your Honor, but I do want to call Mrs. Ramirez to.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for coming in and giving me some insight into your son. Thank you.
Mrs. Ramirez?
All right. You want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right. You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Lisette Ramirez.
All right. You may proceed. Yes.
If it helps her, she can put her bag on.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Rick.
You're welcome.
All right. You'll need to keep your voice up so that the court reporter can hear and so that I can hear.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What do you want to tell me about your son?
My son is a wonderful son. My son changed after my divorce. Unfortunately, I am responsible to see my son go down this way.
So what is his issue?
My son.
How old is he?
angry. My son is just turned 29 and here last week. I truly believe that I have a great son and he needs to let that anger go. And he can be productive in this life and be useful to people like I am. I take care of elderly people every day. I love people. And I know my children, I have 2 other daughters, and they are professionals, RN, and one in finances. So my son always wanted to be a good sportman. That's why you see them build up this way. He was about, I think it's been like about 6 to 7 years when he worked on his own, no drugs, no nothing, just eating right on. He never liked fast food. He was always cooking and doing the best he could at home. Between siblings, they have always fights. Of course, he is a big guy. But in his mind, he's always had a future for him.
Okay, but you understand, yes, siblings fight, but you understand he's on deferred adjudication for choking his sibling, choking his sister.
I understand that.
So how old are his sisters?
Amanda is now 23
Mhm.
and Dana is 27.
All right, so he's 29 years old. It is not as though he is a 12-year-old or a person in high school who doesn't understand that his parents, their marriage didn't work out, they got a divorce. So I'm trying to figure out why this 29-year-old person who's standing before me, and he's been on probation since 2022, so that'll put him at 27 or maybe 26. Why is it a 26-year-old cannot report to probation, cannot do his community service hours? And he told me he didn't do his community service hours. His father paid it off for him at $7.25 per hour. So he hasn't done anything on probation. The only thing he has done, based upon the testimony that I've heard, is perhaps, and I'm not taking it as 100% true, but perhaps pick up new charges. That's all he's done. And they're violent charges. And the violence he has is against people who he claims that he loves. I'm assuming he loves them. So I don't understand. He's not doing what he's supposed to do. And the fact that you are divorced and maybe he took divorce hard, he's 29 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I mean, I'm trying to figure out why this is happening.
So I want to give you an example. Lately, he was living with his dad, but when he was living in my house, I gave him a present for Christmas. It was a nice scarf and a picture of him and I together on the good times. And when I entered his room, my son switched the picture and it was the family together. When he was younger, we were at the Dodgers stadium because we live in California. So I knew that my son, who is hurting, is still hurting, has that anger that we're not together as a family. His sisters move out and he stayed behind. I guess we weren't enough supported to my son when he needed it the most. My son is depressed. He doesn't get out like any 20-year-old. Everybody wants to go out party, not my son. My son is in a dark room or either on his phone, watching TV. Nothing motivates my son. This is not normal. I truly believe there is something that my son needs that needs to be balanced in life. And I'm sure there is something out there. I am praying to God that there is, because my son does not believe in jail. I am asking for help. I'm devoted to take care of people. So I'm not expecting, but I'm hoping that my son gets to be somebody. I've been contacting people about what is it called, Dianetics, to see what can benefit my son, reading a book that can lift my son so that he can be somebody, improve the world, that he can be whatever he wants to be in this world.
Are you willing to accept your son into your house?
I love my son, and I cannot see my son on the street begging for money when he has a home, when he has parents that can fight for him.
and
All right,
that-
so let me just stop everybody right here. If I even continue him on probation, let me just tell you what, he's not gonna be living with you. He's not gonna be living with your husband because that hasn't worked out. And everybody, what it appears to the court is you, your husband are treating him like the little boy in the photo that you're bringing up. That's a 29-year-old grown man who has not done anything. He got his father paying his community service hours off for him instead of him paying it. So he hasn't done anything. So if I were to continue with him, and I'm not saying because I haven't made a decision yet, the whole thing with him living with you and living with his father or living with his sisters, that's off the table. That won't be happening. Because he needs to get a job. He needs to take responsibility for his own action, and 0 people can help him if he don't pick up the phone. He hasn't called probation in 2 years.
I understood that his father took him several times to the appointments. I don't know that his father had a complete view of when the appointments.
No, but see, here's the
his-
thing. That's the thing. You and his father are acting like you all are on probation. You're not. It is not his father's job to see that he gets to the probation office. He's 29 years old. And let's say when he started on probation, he was 27 or 26. It's not like he's 18. And when you come to this court and you're 18, you're an adult, but I understand, it's an 18-year-old. Maybe their brains are not fully developed about the consequences of their choices. He knows the consequences of his choices. And you all are still acting as though I should have done this for him. I should have done. At some point, guess what? It is no longer your fault. At some point, these are choices that he's making. Is he going to be 55 years old and you all are coming up in here 90 or however old you're going to be saying, you know what? He's still, it's the breakup that we had. He still can't handle it. At some point, his choices are his own. It's not anybody else's choices. It's not his dad's choice. It's not your choice. And what I can tell you is, if I were to continue him on probation, he's not living with you. He's not living with his father. He's a grown man. Y'all may continue. So I just wanted to cut you all off from that train of thought that he's going to be going back living with his parents, because that's going to be a big no. So you may continue.
I just wanted to tell you that my son, at one point, he was on an anxiety pill. That was when he was in his teens. Of course, as he grew older, he didn't take the pill anymore. I do have, unfortunately, I have in my family depression, and I have schizophrenia, and I have epilepsy. So I know there's somewhere in the line some imbalance for my son to be acting this way. It's not just we're making it up or we're trying to cover up my son.
All
I
right.
just wanted to bring it to your attention.
No, I appreciate your insight. State any questions?
Mrs. Ramirez?
Yes.
A few questions for you, if you don't mind. You mentioned earlier that you believe this all began when you had a divorce, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you remember what year it was you got divorced?
I got divorced, I believe, in 2011.
2011, okay.
Yeah.
So you feel he's been acting this way since 2011?
It's slowly but surely it has, I think, it slowly but surely got up there.
Okay. When did you notice it started to increase?
I started to notice when my son came back to San Antonio, because he had left after college to Oklahoma and came back.
Did he come back? Do you remember the year?
I can't remember the year.
That's fine. You mentioned earlier that you feel that he's depressed.
Yes.
When did you first notice that?
I noticed when, like I said, he came back from Oklahoma, he got a job. And then he had a very nice car and he had an awful accident. Well, my son fainted over here by the airport and his car got totaled. And
Do you think the accident had something to do with his mental state as well?
could it be?
Okay. Did you ever try and get your son help?
Well, he went to a cardiologist and they checked him out really quick, but was nothing like really
Well, I'm sorry.
mental.
Okay, I was about to
Excuse
say,
me.
I should have probably asked it a better way. Did you ever try and get your son help for his mental health issue in the past?
Well, by that time, my son was already growing. I couldn't take him by the hand.
Did you
That's the
suggest
issue
anything?
we're having.
All right, but did you ever suggest to him that maybe he could use some mental health help?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Has he ever formally been diagnosed with depression by a doctor or anything
No.
like that?
No,
Okay. Has he ever been aggressive with you in any way, physically?
no.
Okay. I'll pass the question.
Well, I got just one question. Has he ever been aggressive with other people in the
No,
community?
no neighbors, no nothing, not even the policeman when he came to pick him up, nothing.
No further questions.
All right, thank you so much for coming in
Thank
and talking
you.
with me. All right, any other questions?
Nothing from the staff.
All right. All right, you're asking that he be continued in state. What are you requesting?
Based on the new charges, based upon just what you just heard, this case, we're asking for 2 years prison.
All right, and probation, what is probation's recommendation?
Judge, the recommendation on the court summary is for revocation.
All right, the court is going to find you guilty, revoke. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Amanda Ramirez, therapeutic community, $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. 2 years in the prison, and the court will give you credit for any time served. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? All right, you have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you are on deferred adjudication. Because this is a felony conviction and affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, the state asked for 2 years. I would have given you 8 because you have done absolutely nothing on probation. You're 29 years old. It's not your parents' fault. It's nobody's fault but your own. At some point in time, if you had a difficult childhood, it's like how many more years or how old must you be till it gets to the point where these are your choices, they're not your parents. You're 29. Your parents are divorced. Guess what? They're not getting back together. This is not like a Disney movie where something went weird and the parents are going to come together and decide they love each other. Not going to happen. They're not getting back together. You're going to have to accept that and move on. Do you understand? All right. Good luck to you. Thank you.
Yes.